We're often told that a decline in vigor is just an unavoidable part of aging. But what if that's a myth? What if the key to reclaiming that youthful energy isn't some miracle cure, but simply swapping out your afternoon snack? Imagine this. You're out for a walk just around the block, nothing strenuous. But halfway through, you're winded, your legs feel heavy. And something else you've noticed lately, your energy just isn't what it used to be in the bedroom either. You might be thinking, well, I'm over 60. That's just how it goes, right? Not exactly, and definitely not necessarily, because science now tells us something extraordinary. What you eat, and just as importantly, what you don't eat directly impacts your blood flow. And that means everything from brain sharpness to heart strength to, yes, better performance and sensation down there. In this video, we're going to explore 5 incredibly simple food swaps that can make a massive difference in your circulation. No pills, no extreme diets, just common foods you can find in your grocery store. And one of them, it could be hiding in your fridge right now, pretending to be healthy when it's actually holding you back. Stick with me because near the end, I'll share a powerful 2-minute trick that could reawaken your energy and boost your blood flow, like flipping on a light switch. So let's start with the first swap. It's time to say goodbye to iceberg lettuce and hello to spinach. Now I get it. Iceberg has that nice crunch, and it's often the go-to in salads or sandwiches. But nutritionally, it's kind of like chewing water. Spinach, on the other hand, is a leafy green powerhouse. It's packed with something called nitrates. When you eat spinach, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps your blood vessels relax and open up, improving circulation. Dr. Nathan Bryan, a nitric oxide researcher at the University of Texas, once explained that nitric oxide is like the body's natural blood flow regulator. Without enough of it, everything slows down, especially where it matters most. Now let me introduce you to Harold, a 68-year-old retired postman from Ohio. Harold used to eat a basic ham sandwich with iceberg lettuce every day for lunch, nothing fancy. But he started noticing that he just didn't feel as alive as he used to mentally or physically. After a routine checkup, his doctor suggested a few dietary upgrades, including swapping iceberg for spinach. Harold figured it couldn't hurt, so he gave it a shot. Within weeks, he reported sharper thinking, easier walks around the park, and yes, better blood flow where it counts. He even joked that spinach made him feel like Popeye again, only this time the strength wasn't just in his arms. Now let's move on to a sneaky little culprit in many people's diets: potato chips. We reach for them out of habit. They're salty, crunchy, comforting. But what they really do is load your body with saturated fat and sodium, which constrict your blood vessels and cause inflammation. That's a recipe for sluggish circulation and poor heart health. Here's the fix: trade your chips for a handful of walnuts. Just 1 ounce, about 14 halves, can deliver a powerful combination of omega-3 fatty acids and L-arginine. What's L-arginine? It's an amino acid, basically a building block of protein that helps your body produce more nitric oxide. A study from Penn State found that people who ate about 35 grams of walnuts a day improved their endothelial function. That's just a fancy term for how well your blood vessels expand and contract. And when your vessels work better, your entire circulatory system gets a boost. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher who lives in Arizona. Margaret used to munch on chips every afternoon while watching her favorite mystery shows. She wasn't looking to change anything until a friend gave her a challenge: replace the chips with walnuts for 1 month. Margaret agreed, mostly out of curiosity. By week 3, she noticed her hands weren't as cold. She had more pep in her step, and her husband even commented that she seemed happier lately. She laughed and told him it was probably just the nuts. But inside she knew something was shifting. Her body was responding to real nourishment. These tiny changes may seem too simple to make a real difference. But science says otherwise. Your body is constantly repairing itself even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. And when you give it the right tools like nitric oxide from spinach or healthy fats from walnuts, it responds quickly. Circulation improves, cells rejuvenate, and that sluggish feeling many people mistake for aging starts to lift. Before we move on, let me ask you something. Have you already tried making changes to your diet? Maybe cut back on sugar or started adding more vegetables? If so, I'd love for you to comment with your age or where you're watching from. It's inspiring to know who's on this journey with us, and you might just encourage someone else to take that first step. And remember, we're just getting started. The next swap might surprise you even more because it's a drink that's been marketed as healthy for decades, but could be quietly working against your blood flow. Let's keep going. Now picture this. It's mid-morning or maybe just after dinner. You're craving something sweet and refreshing, so you pour yourself a tall glass of juice, maybe orange, maybe cranberry, maybe even something labeled heart healthy. But here's the thing. That innocent-looking glass could be quietly flooding your system with sugar, spiking your blood sugar levels, and doing very little to help your circulation. You see, even 100% fruit juice, the kind with no added sugar, has been stripped of its most powerful component, fiber. Fiber is what slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. Without it, your blood sugar can spike rapidly, triggering inflammation and oxidative stress, both enemies of healthy blood flow. But here's the good news. There's a tastier and much healthier alternative that not only satisfies your sweet tooth, but actively improves circulation. Berries. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries are loaded with antioxidants, especially one called anthocyanin. This compound gives berries their deep, vibrant color and helps protect your blood vessels from damage. In a 2014 study published in Circulation, women who consume 3 or more servings of blueberries and strawberries each week reduced their risk of heart attack by 32%. That's not small potatoes or berries in this case. Let's look at George and Ellen, both in their early 70s and longtime residents of North Carolina. They used to start each morning with a glass of orange juice at breakfast, thinking it was a healthy choice. Their daughter, a nurse, suggested a swap, try a handful of mixed bees instead. She even prepped little freezer bags of bees for them to toss into yogurt or oatmeal. Within a month, George's blood pressure numbers dropped slightly. Ellen reported more stable energy levels throughout the day, and both felt like their thinking was sharper. George joked that berries were brain fuel with benefits, and Ellen said she hadn't felt that steady in years. It's remarkable what a small switch can do, and when you combine that with consistent habits, the body rewards you. Now that we've covered sugar spikes, let's talk about something even sneakier. It's soft comforting and found on almost every table, especially in the form of sandwiches or morning toast. White bread. The problem with white bread is that it's been stripped of its nutrients and fiber during processing. What you're left with is a fast-burning carb that turns quickly into sugar, contributing to inflammation and poor cardiovascular health. But here's the swap that can change the game. Trade that white bread for a hearty bowl of oatmeal. Real oatmeal, not the instant stuff packed with artificial flavors. We're talking old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut oats. Oatmeal is full of soluble fiber, especially a type called beta-glucan. This fiber acts like a sponge in your digestive tract, soaking up bad cholesterol and helping clear it from your system. That means better heart health and smoother blood flow. One study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that just 3 grams of soluble fiber a day, roughly the amount in one bowl of oats, could lower LDL cholesterol by up to 10%. And that's just from a single daily change. Now meet Diana, a vibrant 65-year-old artist from Portland. Diana loved her morning toast, always buttered and sometimes topped with jam. She wasn't thrilled when her doctor mentioned her cholesterol was creeping up. But instead of medication right away, they agreed to try a few diet tweaks. Diana swapped out her toast for oatmeal with cinnamon and blueberries. Not only did her cholesterol improve within 8 weeks, but she found her energy stayed steady through the morning. She started painting for longer arc stretches, and even signed up for a Tai Chi class, something she'd been hesitant to do because of joint stiffness and fatigue. She swears the oats gave her that push. These swaps aren't about restriction or deprivation. They're about choosing foods that love your body back, foods that work with your biology instead of against it. When your blood flows better, everything improves, from your memory to your mood to your ability to enjoy intimacy and movement without pain or frustration. So if you're still watching and finding these lessons valuable, please comment the number 1 below, just so I know you're still with me. Thank you for your precious time. And now let's dive into one of the most surprising swaps of all, the one that could affect your inflammation levels more than anything else on your plate. This next one often hides in plain sight on dinner tables across the country and might be doing more harm than you realize. Let's talk about that dinner staple. So many of us grew up loving a thick, juicy beef steak. Now don't worry, this isn't about demonizing red meat. A well-raised occasional portion isn't the end of the world. But when steak becomes the go-to source of protein, especially if it's heavily marbled or fried in butter, we're introducing a double whammy to our bloodstream-saturated fat and inflammation. See, beef contains a compound called carnitine. When it reaches your gut, certain bacteria convert it into something called TMAO, trimethylamine N-oxide. Studies from the Cleveland Clinic have shown that high levels of TMAO are linked to a greater risk of cardiovascular disease. Add in the saturated fat, which thickens the blood and stiffens arteries, and it's no wonder that circulation gets sluggish over time. And sluggish blood flow that affects everything from your heart to your energy to your ability to respond physically during intimacy. So what's the delicious solution? Enter salmon. Fatty fish like wild-caught salmon, mackerel, or sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the ultimate anti-inflammatory nutrient. These omega-3s help reduce the stickiness of your blood, improve the flexibility of your blood vessels, and even boost the production of nitric oxide, which we've already seen is crucial for good blood flow. Let me introduce you to Charles, a 70-year-old widower from Michigan. Charles always loved grilling steaks on the weekend. It reminded him of family cookouts, and he was reluctant to give that up. But after a mild stroke, his doctor strongly urged dietary changes. Charles compromised once a month for steak and weekly salmon on the grill. He found a simple marinade of lemon, garlic, and olive oil made it taste amazing. Within months, his cholesterol improved, his energy returned, and most surprisingly, he noticed he didn't need that afternoon nap anymore. He told his daughter, "I didn't think fish could make me feel this strong," and he meant it. Here's something powerful to understand. The body never stops trying to heal itself. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, the cells lining your blood vessels can bounce back when you remove the foods causing inflammation and replace them with ones that support healing. That's what omega-3s do. They help your body become more efficient, more responsive, more alive. So now let's briefly take a look at what we've discovered. Swapping iceberg lettuce for spinach that brings in nitrates that become nitric oxide, your body's natural vessel opener. Choosing walnuts instead of chips, you're loading up on omega-3s and L-arginine to stimulate better circulation. Replacing juice with berries, you avoid sugar spikes and get powerful antioxidants that protect your arteries. Swapping white bread for oatmeal, you lower cholesterol and support your heart with soluble fiber. And trading that steak for salmon, you calm inflammation and energize your blood flow with the healthy fats your body craves. These aren't massive lifestyle overhauls, they're gentle nudges, smart swaps. And when you stack them up over time, the results speak for themselves. Steadier energy, warmer hands and feet, clearer thoughts, and yes, renewed vigor in ways you might have thought were gone for good. Remember, no one's asking you to be perfect. This is about progress, not perfection. Every step you take toward healthier choices gives your body another chance to show you what it's capable of. And when you feel better, you do more, laugh, more love, more. Life becomes richer. So what was the one lesson today that really hit home for you? Please share one habit you plan on adopting in your life. Maybe it's berries in your yogurt instead of juice, or a warm bowl of oatmeal in the morning instead of toast. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Your story could be the spark someone else needs to get started. And if this video helped you feel even a little bit more hopeful about your health, please tap that like button and subscribe for more simple, science-backed tips to help you thrive at every age. You deserve to feel strong, vibrant, and deeply alive no matter what your birth certificate says. Here's to living your best life at any age. And remember, the next time you reach for a snack or sit down to a meal, you're not just feeding your hunger, you're feeding your future.